Hi, everyone. This is Empower Your Students. Students don't have to wait for an adult to give them instructions to follow in order to make school meaningful. They can do it for themselves. Today's exercise, Behavior Brainstorm, harnesses the power of the group to help each student think of values-consistent behaviors. It creates a context in which students can shift their understanding of school from a place where they have to do whatever they're told to a place where they can construct meaningful experiences for themselves. At the beginning of the exercise is a brief exploration of values at school, but a better lead-in would be the values origami exercise, which you can find on our website, bit.ly/empoweryourstudents. For the behavior brainstorm activity, each student will need 6 sticky notes, a pen or pencil, the examples of values handout if they haven't done a values clarification exercise in the past, and the values guided behavior brainstorm handout. Both of these handouts are available on our website, again, bit.ly/empoweryourstudents. Okay, here we go. What could a meaningful life actually look like day to day here at school? For example, if treating people kindly is what makes school meaningful for you, what might that look like in math class, or in music, or at lunch? Today we're going to do an activity to help each other think of behaviors that will serve our values. So at the top of your paper, where it says, "In my school life, I choose to," you're going to fill in the blank with some way of approaching school that would make it meaningful. How do you want to do your work? How do you want to relate to your friends? How do you want to relate to your classmates and teachers? How do you want to go through your day? Now, if we can get grammatical for just a moment, when you fill in your blank, you're going to have a verb and an adverb, like think creatively or work productively. And you might have some other stuff in there too, like I might say express myself authentically or treat people compassionately even when I don't agree with them. Since it might be a little hard to think of an adverb that describes how you want to approach school, you might want to take a look at the Examples of Values handout. If you use the sheet, use it to help you, not to limit you, and please feel free to make up your own. So now each of you has chosen a value. What'll happen next is you'll leave your own paper with your value on your desk, and then you'll walk around the room and look at everyone else's. As you look at other people's papers, if you can think of a suggestion for what they can do this week that would match up with their value, you'll write it on one of your sticky notes and you'll stick it to their paper. So for example, I wrote that I want to teach attentively. Sometimes I get so focused on what I want to say that I don't listen well, or I get caught up in some personal issue and I'm not fully present with my class. So when you get to my paper, you could take out one of your sticky notes and write something I could do this week that would help me teach more attentively. Couple things before we get started. We're going to make our suggestions concrete and specific, not abstract and vague. We want to help each other imagine actual physical behaviors, like make eye contact with students who are talking, not vague states of being like be fully present. If you can picture exactly what a behavior looks like, then you know exactly what to do. You can see it when it's happening in real life and know that you've successfully done it. Another thing we want to do in this activity is give each other positive suggestions, do's instead of don'ts. So someone might suggest that to teach attentively, I should not look at my computer screen. So that's a don't. But sometimes when we do stuff, it's out of habit or because it's fun. And just being told to stop isn't particularly helpful. So instead of saying something like, don't look at my computer screen, a positive behavior could be something like, look around when you're teaching to see how your students are responding to the material. Finally, we'll try to give each other a wide variety of choices for how to pursue our values. As this activity goes along, you'll have to read what's already on someone's sheet and think of something different from what's been suggested already. So let's see if each of you can give 6 different suggestions, because if everyone does, then everyone will end up getting 6 different suggestions. Let's try this. Now that we're finished, let's go back and read the suggestions we got. And as you read them, give each one a rating on a scale of 1 to 10 for how important it feels for you to do this behavior. A 10 means that this idea sounds like a critically important part of living by your value. A 1 means it doesn't matter if you do this or not. Write your ratings in the lower left-hand corner of the box underneath each sticky note. Next, you're going to give each behavior another rating, this time based on how confident you are in your ability to do it. A 10 means you're totally confident you can do it, and a 1 means you're not at all confident. And write these ratings in the lower right-hand corner of the box underneath each sticky note. Like this. Now I'm going to invite you to choose a behavior that you're willing to commit to trying this week. Peel off the sticky and just hold it in front of you. Notice any thoughts and feelings that come up. Is your mind cheering you on? Or maybe telling you that you can't do it? Or are you excited or sort of dreading it? Or maybe feeling a little nervous or awkward? Whatever thoughts and feelings you're having, jot them down in the box that was underneath the sticky you're now holding. Also look at each sticky you didn't choose and notice any thoughts and feelings you have about not choosing it. Maybe you feel relieved for certain ones, or proud that you chose something more challenging. Or maybe your mind is telling you that you should have chosen something else. Again, whatever thoughts and feelings you're having, write them down in the boxes underneath the stickies. Now on the back of your paper, you'll see another statement with blanks. The first blank is for your value, and you can copy what you wrote on the other side of your paper. The second blank is for a specific behavior you're committing to doing. The behavior might come directly from a sticky, or it might be a variation. Mine's going to be, because it's important to me to teach attentively, this week I will start conversations with 3 students who don't usually talk in class. So go ahead and write yours. Now let's read our statements out loud. Because it's important to me to teach attentively, this week I will start conversations with 3 students who don't usually talk in class. I'm going to collect your papers, and next week we'll share how we did at keeping our commitments. Those thoughts and feelings that came up today might come up again, or new ones might come up, and that's normal. Do those thoughts and feelings have to decide what you do, or can you decide? After a week or so, you can give back the papers and have your students write about their experiences in that space on the back. For those who kept their commitments, what was it like? For those who broke their commitments, what got in the way? The point of asking what got in the way isn't to elicit guilt or shame, but rather to help your students notice barriers. Students can then make new commitments. Those who kept their commitments might want to think of bigger or higher stakes versions. So for example, a student who successfully helped his friend with homework might try forming a study group. Or a student who raised her hand once in math class could try raising her hand in every math class that week. Those who didn't actually care that much about their commitments can choose behaviors they do care about doing. And those who didn't keep their commitments because they seemed too overwhelming can think of smaller or lower stakes versions, like a student who said she'd raise her hand once but didn't do it could commit to asking her teacher a question after class. The idea that they can take action on a variety of scales to make school meaningful might inspire some students to work toward bigger goals, but bigger isn't necessarily better. Different actions have different important functions in a meaningful life. So I hope that you've enjoyed the behavior brainstorm activity and that maybe you'll try it with your students. If you're looking for more ways to empower your students to make school meaningful, you can visit our website, bit.ly/empoweryourstudents.